What did you do over the weekend?
What did I do over the weekend?
Yeah, you had a gig, right?
No.
Yes, you did.
Oh, I did. Yes. Well, I was thinking
Posted it on
Saturday night.
Facebook.
Yes. I had a my MS gig.
The MS gig. You want to tell us what that is?
Twin Cities ride. It's a 15, 20, 25-mile route with a 10-mile optional shortcut at the end. So it's for real athletic types.
So it's a bike-a-thon kind of.
And you can make it shorter at every turn.
And not motorized vehicles.
No, it's all pedal power.
How long? You've been doing this for a long time.
A long time. Are we starting? Is this?
Why wouldn't we be?
Is this you starting now? I'm still getting ready for the show. And it sounds like you're starting the show.
I sure am. I think you're doing great. Why would you be freaked out by that? This is the way we always start the show.
I know, but I just don't. Everything is all wrong here.
Nothing is wrong as well. Thank you. Quiet down, studio audience. We don't need you in our heads here. You had a good show, right?
Can we start over?
Should we? No, I think this is great.
Oh, of course you think this is great.
This is great. This is a really natural way to start. I mean, we're kind of just putting things together and moving papers around. I mean, we
like it when other people look bad.
We got things like that. You don't look bad at all. We're just doing our thing. Other than the fact that you look like I look like I've just gotten back from vacation and you woke up from a long sleep because we still have an issue with our lighting.
What are you saying? I look pale?
A little bit.
I am pale.
A little bit.
Have you seen my son?
I have seen your son.
I can find my keys in the dark with him.
We went walking with him during Halloween. It was kept us very safe.
Yeah, he did. No flashlight required.
No.
He just glows.
I took your thing here.
All right.
So it's okay.
All right. So yes, for over 10 years, 11 years, 12 years, I can't. I don't know how long it's been. It's been like a long time.
Right.
I've been doing these rides, and it's doing the starting line, finish line. Acknowledgement. They do the MS Society does a great job creating an amazing experience.
But be more specific. I mean, you're not doing a dance for the muscular sclerosis.
No, I'm playing background music, and I'm yammering inspirational enthusiasm on the microphone.
Is that how you present it to them every year? I'll be yammering yet another year.
That's how I sell it. Jason Jones going to perform for your fundraising bike ride at the finish line with yammering words of inspirational jibber jabber.
So do you start them off as well? Do you stand there and make the
If
sound?
Sometimes they've had big send offs like that.
Yeah.
Like one year we had Clay Aiken start off the MS 150 and he sang the national anthem. So I'm up on stage with Clay Aiken. It's like, oh, this is kind of cool. It's like,
and then he went, already go.
Yeah, tell me when you want me to get the karaoke background for you. Oh no, you're going to sing an a cappella. So he sang the national anthem. I mean, that was kind of cool kind of thing. But otherwise, there isn't. Most of the yammering really happens, and the longest stretch of music is when people come in to finish, because they want people to feel really accomplished in having finished. So we keep people at the finish line, cheering those people that come in, keep encouraging the people, and making it fun for those people at the cheering line.
And that's your job on the mic with the music.
Yeah, on the mic is to keep them entertained and keep them standing there so they go, yay, when the 300th person comes across with the same amount of enthusiasm.
So how long do you have to do that for?
I do that. The cheering, the finish line cheering goes about 4.5, 5 hours.
You have to keep that energy going. Cheering and for 4 straight hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Making up jokes, stuff like that. And the thing is like the jokes don't even have to be that good. I usually find out
because they tuned you out 15 minutes in.
Well, and then they make faces at me if I know it was really bad. Like one I can remember, I say it's like the Hunger Games, only without all the dying. And I got this look, and I'm like, well, actually, it's not like the Hunger Games at all.
Oh my gosh.
And it's just about like, okay, we're having fun here at the finish line.
Right, and I'm running out of stuff to say.
And no, it may sound like I'm running out of stuff to say because I would say something like that, but that's kind of the whole deal, And then, and really acknowledging people as they come across the finish line and acknowledging them by their team names if you can, and and all of that. There's a lot. I feel like if you really do the job right, there's a lot going on.
It sounds like it.
It was really kind of fun that they have a new. Their planners have been there for many years, and they're just starting to see some turnover now, and they have this new planner, and I had done the MS walk because I do all their events, And she was like, "Oh wow, he's great. It's like he knows just what to say." And they're like, "Yeah." It's like, no, I mean, he literally brings the right energy. Yeah, we know he does. Yeah. I mean, it's like what I do is just kind of expected now. You know what I mean? And she's excited because like she's like, "Oh, this is the first time."
Wow, I've never dealt with a professional before.
right, exactly. And it was really kind of funny, you know. And even when they shared it with me, like how excited she was, it's like, yeah, she was really excited because you're just doing what you do,
right?
You know. And I'm like, well, that's great, you know. It's like nice to have fresh eyes. See what I do.
See, you can't take me for granted anymore. So I hope you're happy about that.
That's right. Exactly. Now you know what it is out there that's making it awesome. We should
absolutely
start this show.
Welcome to the Bill and Jason Show.
I'm Jason, and that's
Bill Herman. Bill and Jason. There you go. That's Jason, and I'm Bill.
And we're not so certain about that.
And it's our like fourth time we've been on video, right?
Yeah, we're glad that you've tuned into the show. The lighting has not gotten any better in the basement.
No. Jason's got like 17 or 18 computer screens in front of him, plus a lighting kit. So he's going to be dying from radiation right here on the show.
Truth be known, I just don't want you to see the pores in my skin. I'm really getting self-conscious about that, even to the point to where I've learned what a fixer is, and I'm actually using one.
A fixer?
Yeah.
What do you mean by fixer?
It fixes your face, so it like shrinks your pores, I guess.
So you're using product. Nice.
Can you believe that?
No.
Moisturizing. Yeah. You suddenly reach a point where you get concerned with how old you are looking.
Well, as pale as you are, you think you'd use a lot, like an SPF 1000 or something.
Well, see, if I blind the person first, I'm going to naturally, they're going to be left with, wow, what smooth skin he had. Right.
And if you're looking at the video podcast, you can tell I have no lighting on me at all except for what's bouncing off of Jason right now onto me. So that's what makes me look so nice.
Yeah. That's why my parents thought they'd call me Moon Unit. They said, "Mom and Dad, that's a girl puppet." And they said, "You're right."
A girl puppet. Oh my gosh. You got puppet into every one of our podcasts so far. Congratulations.
You just think I do.
What?
So we actually have topics on this show.
Okay, good. Hit me, brother.
All right, I found this story, and it's an old story, but what's in it is really relevant. Mm-hmm. I was surfing around for interesting DJ related things.
Yeah.
And this was published in the Daily Breeze news site in California back in 2009.
The Daily Breeze.
Yeah. Mm-hmm, at about 9 p.m. to be specific.
Okay.
And it was a really nice story about this DJ that bought a company. He happens to be an actor.
Okay.
Yeah. And he bought a DJ company that was an active, reputable DJ company
right.
in California and was taking it off. So it was a really nice piece just saying like, hey, this has changed hands and this is what they're doing and what they believe in and that sort of thing.
Right.
But the interestingly thing that I thought was intriguing or worthy of talking about, because it's not unusual that would be a write-up that a business would change hands.
No, but it is interestingly
enough.
Huh?
Indeed. Mm-hmm. Is that he talks a lot about like the stereotypes of the DJ. So the big differentiation that he makes with his company that he has and the quality of entertainment that he provides is that of comparing himself to the DJ that you would get off Craigslist that shows up with 5 buddies and gets drunk. Kind of thing.
So he's comparing himself to those people,
right? And how much better, and how much that.
That's not a whole lot. You don't have to be a lot better. You don't have to. It's not a very high bar. It's not like one step on the ladder you got to go up to get past that guy.
Right. Or the DJ that just pushes play.
Okay.
Or is a hustler and a ham in front of the audience.
A hustler.
Yeah, these are the differentiations he's making between like what's out there that a person could end up getting, which I presumably is bad.
Right.
Okay. To have the hustler or the ham.
Mm-hmm. A hustler ham is even worse.
Ham hock suits are so
a ham
expensive.
hock hustler ham suit.
And then versus that of what what they do is just provide really good quality music, sort of thing. And
so he's pushing. What are you saying? He's pushing play in a more quality way than the other guy.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in a way that you can count on that's not going to do anything bad to your event.
Okay.
Assuming that all of these other things are bad. Which got me really thinking about like DJ stereotypes, especially mobile DJ stereotypes.
Right.
And...
Well, I think there's stereotypes on regardless. DJ has somebody finds out you're a DJ, they already have a picture in their head, which is the stereotype anyway.
Mm-hmm.
DJ, club DJ, mobile DJ, they're almost the same.
Radio DJ.
Sometimes. Radio DJ, different. Well, yeah, I suppose there's 3 different stereotypes there, isn't there?
Well, the thing, too, is that with radio DJs, well, when you tell someone, what does someone say usually 9 times out of 10 when you say, oh, I'm a DJ?
Oh, what radio station you work for?
They ask what radio station. The immediate assumption is that if you're a DJ that you work for a radio station.
Right.
Not necessarily that you do. You're a mobile DJ company or that you're even a club DJ or anything like that.
Right. It's exactly it.
And then and so what I often,
and there used to be a stereotype of that guy. Hey, thank you very much. Come on down. I mean, I've been hired by. I was even hired by a big corporation to come and do MC an award thing down at the Minneapolis Convention Center about 10, 12 years ago, when I was working at Cool 108 in Minneapolis as Tommy Cruise. And when they hired me to be Tommy Cruise, they wrote my script. Just wanted to eat a bullet from the script today. Hey there, Cats and
like
cool daddy-os and stacks of wax. And like, really? Nobody talks like this. People talked like this back in the 50s. Just because it's an oldies radio station doesn't mean that's what we do and that's how we sound. They wanted me to come out and do that guy. Thanks for coming.
And they wanted a 50s persona.
Yeah, they wouldn't. I had to do part of that. They put me in a weird colored vest and made me wear sunglasses and read that script off a teleprompter because that was the stereotype they had at the moment of what that was.
Right. Wow. And so how did that? So did you? But that was like difficult. It sounds like because you were having to come portraying a character. I
had to come out.
You were doing on the station. Like, wait a minute, this is my character. Do I want to portray it this way?
Well, that isn't what I was being on the station. Even that was the weird part about it. It's like they knew they had hired Tommy Cruise from Cool 108. They obviously had not heard this contemporary person doing contemporary talk on an oldies radio station. They just assumed they better write for the oldies guy. So I showed up and didn't get a script until I got there. And it was, they said, oh yeah, I know, we're not giving you bullet points. We have a script. It's on teleprompter. We're going to rehearse it this afternoon. So I didn't have a chance to make any changes. Even though I tried, they weren't willing to do that. So
no, they were really fixed on
instead
of this guy.
Right, instead of standing on my principles and leaving, I was a whore and I took the money.
Right. It's like, well, all right. Well, this isn't going to kill me and the cash should be good. I want to build an addition onto the house.
There is video of this that no one has seen. And no one will.
Great. On next week's show, tune in and you'll get to hear Bill Herman doing his Stacks of Wax Best 50s DJ.
It was really horrible.
Well, why was it so horrible though? Did you just own it and just like, okay,
I did. That was part of it. Is I didn't really own it. I was really on it about having to do it because I didn't have a chance to kind of take in the fact that's what they had me doing.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to come in and do what I do and be me, not come in and be this other guy with, what was it, like 2 hours of rehearsal before we got to air.
Well, and there's, if anything that's going to shut you down, that's really going to get in the way is if you get your head into, this shouldn't be like this. So what am I, and then negotiating what and how much am I going to give them rather than going like, okay, well, I can't control it. Here's the part. I'm going to do it. I'm taking the money. I'll do 100%. I'll give you your character.
Right.
And just dive in and do it.
Right.
And it's like, I've struggled with, I think everybody's struggled with the same thing. If somebody says they haven't, then they're not paying attention. They're just walking in and doing whatever they're doing anyway. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, and there's only one way to kind of combat that because going back to the subject of the stereotypes, they put us into this box of what we're going to be. They expect to see that when you show up, or you have enough time ahead of time to work with that client at early stages in the planning process to make sure they understand that that's not really what they're buying, and that's not really you coming at your best, or you coming to them in such a way that that everybody's okay with what's happening.
Yeah.
Because I could have come to it and done a better job, and from their standpoint, I'm sure I did a great job. They were very happy. They paid me.
Yeah.
They were people were asking for my autograph, for goodness sakes.
Sure.
But from my perspective, Yeah, not so much.
Right. I mean, you knew what you could have delivered in that if you weren't, just
mad about the fact.
Mad about like what you had to show up as,
right.
and things like that, and probably were in. Like, you weren't thinking, like, I'm going to take on a character. A lot of it was like, oh, this is me. I'm representing me. I'm being me up here.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to be like, this isn't what I'm like.
Right.
And that's a whole, I think that's where it gets really hard.
Right.
If it's like, oh, do a character, no problem. It's because then you're detached. You're just doing that character. But it wasn't, that wasn't something you could easily separate.
Right. And then I was pretty much there. I mean, it was a 2.5 hour thing. It's not like doing a bit for a second and going, oh, it's just kidding. This is really me. Right. I can come on and do a little bit, hey, how you doing? And everybody's laughing because I can do this accent. But I can also show that, I was doing that on purpose. I was in control. I picked it. I chose it. I'm playing it. Wasn't able to do that in that situation. And I think that's part of the problem with the stereotypes is people feel like they're being put into this fixed way. By everybody else, especially in what we do, and it makes us mad because we're not that guy.
Right.
I know that guy. I don't like that guy either. I'm not that guy. But that's what everybody kind of decides early on. They never really. Not many of them go to a real positive stereotype when they talk about disc jockeys.
Well, I mean, who does get a flattering stereotype? Name one flattering stereotype. Which ones are really flattering?
Squirrels have bushy tails.
Like lawyers. Everybody wants to be a lawyer because they're great stereotype lawyers.
Right.
Like chasing ambulances and all that sort of thing. See, next time you're in a situation like that, you just have to remember, just keep in the back of your mind, I'm going to do a Van Morrison.
To Van Morrison, really? What would Van Morrison have done other than?
Well, at his concert here in the Twin Cities, he was performing. He was playing a lot of his new stuff and things like that. Well, the crowd got tired of waiting, and they started chanting "Brown-eyed girl, brown-eyed girl." So he got up and he kicked over the chair and he screamed, "I'm not playing an effing oldies concert!" and stormed off the stage.
No way.
He did.
Were you at this concert?
I know, but I know people who were. And
wow.
I'm like, that is the greatest moment. I wish I would have been there to witness that. I mean, we can be all however we're going to be about like, well, it was that song that got him there and blah, blah, blah. And, but it's just temperamental artist. Well,
but that's all difference between him and me is he's Van Morrison.
He's Van Morrison, right.
And I'm not.
Right. He's not. He is being himself, whereas you were playing a character.
Right. And he walks off a concert. It doesn't put him in the poorhouse. I walk off a gig and I got to look at my wife in the eye and say, no, I didn't bring any money home.
That's right. But I stood on my principle.
I sure did because I have a principle. I'm not a famous principal, but I got one.
And then she kicked your butt out to go and do that paper route.
Right. Exactly.
Don't come back until all the papers are delivered and you've got a gallon of milk to show for it.
Well, and speaking of this whole stereotype idea, didn't we find you and I found a this is gone now, but on Craigslist there was a story. Well, not a story. It was a guy who advertised for a band, and you have it up in front of you.
Oh yeah, here it is.
Okay, so this guy advertised for a band, and the thing is, the reason that it kind of brings me around to stereotypes is that this guy talked about his brother or half brother or something like that asking for him to help with the wedding by doing the wedding.
Oh yeah, this is great.
So anyway, I'm gonna start reading it and let you finish it. But the ad that he put out, and by the way, it's no longer on Craigslist. I wish I could point you to it, and I don't really understand why they pulled it, except that it was really just kind of a mean, smarky thing. But anyway, it says looking for wedding band. It was for October. Looks like October of 2002. Terrible band needed for a sham wedding. 11/6. No pay. As the musician in our family, my Shylock of a half brother and his parsimonious fiance have passed off to me the job of finding a band for their wedding. I love the kid, but his unique brand of expectant coercion and astonishingly consistent lack of judgment have left me with no recourse but to literally give him exactly what he wants. A band that can, quote, tear up Skinnerd and won't cost nothing. Since they think music is spontaneously generated via voodoo magic by assemblies of self-promoting philanthropists, yes. I am now on a quest to find the best working band interested in quote, doing it for the exposure.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. This is crazy, man. I've been asked to do family weddings. And that's pretty much what they say. Oh, look at all the exposure you're going to get. No. If you're a serious musician that values your craft and earns a living from performance, you're probably thinking, F you. Do you ask your accountant to do your taxes for nothing? I don't have the rest of what you have. You have the rest of it there.
I love that. Do you ask your accountant to do your taxes for exposure? Because talking about people that get asked to oh hey, we're having a wedding. Cousin Bill, you DJ, would you just do it for us?
Yeah, of course.
I would. $200 and all the beer you could drink.
I would love to take a June off and do your wedding for nothing when I can get paid to do it. Paid well to do it and feed my family.
But yet if you worked at Best Buy, they wouldn't say, hey, could you get us that big screen TV?
If I owned Best Buy, I bet you they would.
Well, if you own Best Buy,
that's the thing.
If you worked at Best Buy.
Oh, that's just it. I mean, you're a
manager at Best Buy.
Yeah, they did. People do that all the time, though, too. It's
just imagine the exposure that TV will get in my living room. I have a lot of people over, Well,
they're not going to say they want it for exposure. They're just going to want it. Everybody wants their freebie. It's amazing how many times you ask your family to do it, especially when it's going to take money out of their pocket to do it for you.
Yeah, I feel family, if you really want to support people in your life, ask to pay double.
Yeah,
just
I don't
like
even.
the old open up a restaurant, everybody wants to come and eat for free. It's like, I'm trying to run a business here. Don't you want to support me and pay double? No?
Yeah.
Now open up the bar. Shut up.
Yeah.
So the ad continues.
Yes.
You are not what I'm looking for.
What?
If you ask your accountant to do the taxes,
right.
if you do the tax for exposure.
Right.
Okay? However, you and your unemployable band of pothead hobbyists are enticed by the prospect of a free open bar stocked with the finest suburban banquet hall well liquor and an opportunity to run a train on most whorish collection of self-entitled bridesmaids this side of Sex and the City Marathon, please contact me. There's probably dinner in it for you, too, if the starched bleep of a wedding planner...
Oh, no.
Bride's best friend forever, can get her third-rung caterer to leave a few sandwiches in the storage closet for you at some point in the evening. What I need from the band, I don't care if you're the original Icelandic thrash reggae act, featuring steam calliope and afterwards Armageddon poetry. But I need you to be able to train wreck your way through a few requests.
Armageddon poetry. I love
Don't
that.
stop believing. You provide the high notes, we'll provide the smell of wine and cheap perfume. Freebird, go nuts with the solo. Really, if this evening was a never-ending cascade of sonic punishment hailing down on Tom at blaringly inconsiderate volumes, it would only serve as apropos karmic revenge for the afternoons I've spent listening to Jillian chatter about, oh my God, I don't care what. Macarena, electric slide, chicken dance, it doesn't matter which one you play, but there has never been a classy party where one of these songs has made an appearance. This will not be a classy party. Do not play Jesse's Girl. I used to play weddings, and if I have to hear that song one more time, I'm going to effing cut someone. They said they don't have any preferences for attire, so I'll take that to mean you're okay in a threadbare Megadeth t-shirt and black jeans. How about a red cummerbund on top of that? I will provide PA. The band and sound system are my wedding present to them.
Oh, my gosh.
He's buying the band and the PA. Well, he has the PA, but he's like, okay, I'll show you. This is not a joke. Please shoot me an email if this sounds like something you might be interested in.
I really wish his telephone number would have been on this because I wanted to call him and find out how it went and who he found and if there's video of it.
I know. And
it's
like I want to follow up on this.
And if his half brother and parsimonious fiance ever speak to him again.
So you didn't try to use the copy of the
Well, no. I went to go find it and the link is gone. So somebody shared this to me.
Type it in. It's right here. You could
I never
type
did
it
that.
in.
No, I did.
We'll have to try that for a future show because it would be so great to talk with him. There's so many things going on here.
Oh my gosh!
With his upset around this wedding and what he's been asked to do, and then it sounds like most of his anger is around saying yes. Like, why did I say yes? Like he had a weak moment,
right?
Ergo the coercion part. You coerced me. Like a Chinese water torture or something like that.
Yeah, no, I don't get it either. I mean, not only does he not, you can tell he hates weddings. He hates weddings.
Yeah.
But but he hates the fact that he said he'd help them with the wedding. So now he doesn't like weddings, and he promised he'd help them. So somewhere along the way, during talking to his half-brother and parsimonious fiance, he's decided that they suck as well as what he promised he'd do for them. Mm-hmm. It's just get worse and worse and worse.
Well, he's going. I would love to find out what actually happened. Like, if he actually took it, if this was just his rant and then he did whatever he did and it turned out okay. Like sometimes we do after we get that out of our systems, kind of thing. Like, well, I'm not going to be a total jerk and prove a point at the biggest day of his life. Just to go up yours. Don't ever do this again. Which, his brother and sister-in-law or whatever were like, we weren't planning on doing this again. That's kind of the whole point. Right. And so,
that's what's so fascinating.
I'm really curious to see, kind of what that would.
What's so fascinating about it? I mean, I've seen these kinds of things written on the internet before, but usually they're by DJs who got talked into doing a cousin's wedding, and he posts about it on Facebook where nobody sees it but a bunch of DJs, so he just gets it out of his system. This guy went on Facebook. And actually went out to try to find this horrible thing, to try to create this thing that either he was able to do, which would be amazing to find out if he actually found this stereotype and created it and gave it to him, or if it just never turned out and it just became this thing. But then it gets back to his family and it becomes a big thing. I mean, it's like, holy moly, man! Usually you call your buddy and say, I can't believe I said yes to my cousin about doing their wedding because now she wants this and she wants this and doesn't she know I'm not being paid? Yeah, that's exactly what she knows, and she thinks that this is easy for you because you made it easy by saying you did it for free.
Right.
So yeah, it's that's what the difference is weird in that usually it's a private rant to a buddy of yours on a Facebook post that nobody sees. This became public, so the fallout is what's going to be the fascinating reality program that we would all like to go see.
Well, that's assuming that like any of the family actually saw this ad. I mean, no one's concerning themselves with searching for bands or searching under gigs in the in the Facebook, unless you're looking to get into porn or you're looking to any one of those other really savory career paths that everyone thinks about once in a while in their life. It's like, gosh, should I do porn? I mean, it's so easy. You get naked, you show up. I already know the part. I mean, I've seen the movies.
I've researched this.
That's right. I've done. I know. I can do this. I think I can remember my lines.
Right, but you wouldn't necessarily do it for free for your cousin.
No. Cousin, definitely a charge.
And with that, we should take a break. You're listening to the Bill and Jason Show. Do we have a commercial to play this time?
No.
No? Okay.
I'll put something in there.
Will you promise?
I will.
Okay.
Yeah. Are we still on our break?
No, we can. Yeah, I suppose.
Were we going to talk more about this?
I don't know. We could if you wanted to.
Are you feeling done?
Yeah, I think we're done. We can move on to the next thing.
Yeah, there was nothing more.
I don't think so.
No, nothing worth saying.
No.
So anyway, now let's get on to what's actually.
Well, first things first, the public apology.
It's time to apologize.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Bill and Jason Show public apology.
I'd like to publicly apologize for everyone tuned in for last week's show, hoping to learn about lighting, to hear that I didn't really learn anything about lighting.
And that's the public apology from the Bill and Jason Show.
Well, that was easy enough.
So let's make this story something we don't have to apologize
for.
All right, because you brought it up earlier about Vladamire's castle, like the original vampire, the original Dracula. Vlad, his castle is on the market.
Yes, Vlad the Impaler put his. He hasn't done it. I mean, that would be the real story. If Vlad actually called up the real estate agent and said, I have something to put on the market. It's got a little too roomy for me.
It's time to downsize. I'm going into retirement.
One-of-a-kind property available for buyers looking for a big stake in the Transylvania property market. The castle once housed the inspiration for Bram Stoker's Dracula. It's called Bran Castle.
The inspiration.
It is Romania's top tourist attraction. It says one of. I bet you it's not one of. I'm sure it's their top.
Sure.
I mean, you don't go to Romania and not go see Dracula's castle, right? It's been owned by everyone from Teutonic Knights to communist governments over the years. Right now, there's an elderly archduke who owns it, and he's ready to sell. Oh, let's see here. The agent handling the sale, which I'd like to meet that person.
You're right. It isn't nearly as much fun as Vladamire putting it on the market.
Right. There's an agent.
That's where I went immediately when you put it on. When you said that.
Right.
That it's like, time to downsize.
Well, either the agent
don't want to clean all these rooms anymore.
Either the agent the agent has to have an accent. You know, let me show you. Look at the great big open floor plan, and the kitchen is to die for. It's either got to be that, or it's got to be like it's got to be like
the basement.
It's got to be like one of those HGTV people showing off. You know, if that does not show up in HGTV,
HGTV show.
Oh my gosh, it's like Curb Appeal
or International House Hunters. I want to see this as one of the three. I don't know. It's kind of roomy.
It is kind of
100 bedrooms.
Yeah, and what's with all the steaks and the dead heads on the top of things? What is that?
Right.
It says here the cashier is quote the real thing. The agent, it's a guy. The agent's a guy. Says, well, then he must have the accent. Quote, we don't need men around dressed up in old-fashioned costumes. The place speaks for itself.
Our realtors in great accents.
Yes, it's not the only. And then it goes into other things about other places that are famous that are up for market. But this is a real deal. It doesn't give a price. You would think we'd have a price. I mean, how much would you pay for Dracula's castle if you're going to buy Dracula's? Vladimir's
I'd pony up $500,000.
$500,000. That's it. $500,000.
Yeah, I'm sure it needs some work.
It's the fixer-upper.
Right. See the potential here.
There's lots of potential. There's steaks everywhere and the smells of garlic, but I don't know.
People are roses.
I think they're going to ask for more than that. I mean,
flowers must be.
There's one here. The Scarface mansion where in the movie Scarface with Tony Montana. That is up for sale, or rather, it sold for $35 million, and that was a 10,000 square foot house that looks out onto the Pacific, not the Atlantic, like it's supposed to be in the movie. $35 million for that. So you got to know that a castle in Romania wants a couple more rubles.
Right?
Would it be rubles?
Yeah, maybe it's out of my league.
It's a ruble.
Fits in the tantrums told me it's so out of my league. I think it would be fun, though. I think it would be really fun. Like, it'd be fun to just do the whole theme. I mean, running a tourist attraction just seems like a slam dunk. You know, and talk about you create an experience.
Rides.
It could be everything. Get your free neck piercing. Who wouldn't be ape for that? And the whole kind of thing. You can do dramatizations and and all of that you can sell individually. And tourists they're like, I'll take the everything package. At least a third of them are going to do that.
Murder mystery dinners.
Yeah, it's easier. It's easier to sell than quality wedding entertainment.
Oh, I can't believe. Yeah, I mean, there you go. You could have a place to do weddings. A place to do weddings for those people who like to do those dark. Goth weddings, show up and pretend to be a vampire.
Your destination wedding of choice for goth vampire weddings.
Well, and if vampires were real, wouldn't you think that that's the only people that would come up there? I'd like to see that place. Only the vampires would come looking.
You would own the vampire market.
Yes.
You would own the vampire market.
Thank you.
We cater to vampires.
I mean, if you want a house,
welcome.
You want a house. The only guy you're gonna talk to is me. Why? Because I listed Vlad's place. If I list Vlad's place, I'll do well for you.
So which marriage is this? It's my 30th wedding. Why? 30th? They all died. They got old.
Was that how many weddings you'd have?
Younger model.
30th, the 15th century.
Well, that's for those vampires that date mortals.
Don't they all? They all marry mortals and then they bite them and say.
Well, no, I don't think they do. I don't think they make them vampires. I think that would be really, think about it. Now, think about it just a moment. If you're a vampire, are you going to actually make that one person?
Because you got to live with her for the rest of your life.
And if the rest of your life is forever, and you didn't,
it's not really forever.
Do it right the first time,
right?
Yeah.
What am I in for this one? 50, 60 years, and then I can pick something else.
Right. I mean, do you ever hear of vampires you ever hear of vampire divorce?
No.
No, me either. I mean, it just doesn't happen. And they're living in a
all the vampire weddings that I've done, they stick together.
It's no wonder they're so unhappy.
There's
and conflicted and all those sort of things.
You are positive your wife doesn't listen to the show, aren't you?
No, my wife knows that I'm like that. We're both terrible. We're very happy together.
terrible, horrible, very happy together.
No, we are very happy. Well, terribly happy is like very, very happy.
Okay, you know what I mean? Yeah, I got you.
When used appropriately. But I just chose
terribly happy.
Horribly happy.
I'm horribly happy.
Painfully happy.
I'm painfully happy.
Disgustingly happy.
It's disgustingly happy.
That's how you need to describe the future for your next bride and groom for the next wedding.
Oh, there you go.
Do your icebreaker. Let's hear it for a horribly happy wedding or horribly happy future together.
Horribly, happily, terribly.
Yes. Terribly happy ever after.
Oh, and doing the that would be great though. I mean, do a vampire wedding for a real vampire. That story you would tell, is that romantic or not?
Which story?
Well, if you have to if you're one that tells stories about how the two fell in love at the wedding, I mean, how would you have a room full of people going, "Oh, that's beautiful. He found her on the street and he picked her up and he hypnotized her and she fell in love."
Well, how is that different from anybody else's story?
Because you don't legally get to hypnotize somebody you want to marry. That's what roofies are for.
Well, I mean, the thing is like...
And that's not legal.
The thing is, there is kind of a hypnotic phase of every relationship where you're like, totally infatuated with one another. At least the good ones start that way.
That's called lust.
You know what I mean? Right. So...
Right.
So is that... Would that be hypnotizing? Illegal?
Is that how Vlad got his name?
I mean, that's what vampires do. They're very romantic and they smell like cookies. But wait a minute, those angels smell like cookies.
Oh my gosh! Your movie films is what you're doing. Exactly.
That's what happens when we do this as late as we do. Is it noon yet?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, people don't really listen to this show as long as you'd like them to. Well, okay,
unless
so
you're a vampire, and you know you're going to live forever. So what's another 30 minutes spent watching the Bill and Jason?
If you haven't gone to the Facebook page, go to the Facebook page and like us. If you haven't gone to Twitter, go to Twitter because we're over 100 likes now. We're going for 103.
Help us meet our goal.
Go to the Android market, pick it up on iTunes. In fact, write a review on iTunes if you wouldn't mind. That would be great. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Broadcasting from high atop planet Earth at a rate of 96 kilobytes sample per second over the interweb in an effort to stop glorifying being busy. This has been an entertainment experience production.